All right, fans, welcome to a special Hispanic Heritage Month interview. Tonight's guest is from Coultry, Connecticut, a standout at Penn State University and competed for the U.S. U17, U20, and U23. First time guest on the show, this warrior wears 21 for Gotham FC. Welcome to the podcast, Ellie Jean. Woo!
Hi, I'm so excited
What's
to be
up?
here.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Thank you for coming. We've been looking to talk to you for a while now, and your journey is really unique, and I can't wait to share this story with the fans so they get to know you better and everything that it's going on with the team. So we're gonna get to know you a little more.
Yay.
So to start off, I wanted to talk a little bit about you and your parents. How did your parents meet, and if you grew up in an athletic family?
Okay, yeah. So my dad is Dominican and my mom is white. So my dad actually played professional baseball. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, for several different teams, but he did play for the Yankees a little bit. So full circle kind of ending up here, which I think is really cool. But they met when he was in Tennessee for some reason. And my mom was working there. And they ended up meeting, I think, through mutual friends. And then I was a bit of a surprise. But yeah, just ended up working out. They were married briefly. They're no longer together, but I have a good relationship with both of them, which is great. But I mainly grew up with my mom. She was a single mom for a really long period of time, but she ended up remarrying to a wonderful guy. He's the best. So it all works out.
Yeah, it all works out. And I did read that your dad played for the Yankees for a little bit. And I don't know if you know this story or if your dad has said anything to you about this, but in one of his Yankee games, he was supposed to start that game. He showed up on time, like 30 minutes before the game because he ran. He
Yeah.
ran to
Over
the
the Georgia
stadium.
Bridge, I think. Yeah, he. We've talked about this story multiple times, but so many people bring it up to me. Uh, but yeah, we haven't always had a great relationship, but within the years of me getting more mature and growing up, I really wanted to establish a relationship with him. So we talk probably a couple times a week, but I am always trying to get his perspective, especially from being a professional athlete and, how he was able to get finally to the major leagues. So I'm always kind of asking him for advice. Yeah, but he told me that story, and obviously he's kind of coming from the Dominican, and he
Yeah.
doesn't really speak a ton of English, and he doesn't really know how like a big city works and everything. And he was supposed to start, and one of his teammates was supposed to kind of be watching over him. I can't remember who it was, but they were supposed to come together to the game for some reason, but they didn't.
Mhm.
So my dad is trying to catch a cab, but he doesn't understand traffic. Uh, and then like it's kind of inching closer and closer to, game time. And he's like, I don't know what else to do besides to get out of this car and start running. Like I'm not gonna make the game. So he literally just hops out the car and then runs to the stadium and then pitches. So I don't know. I think that's just the craziest story, but totally encompasses kind of my dad a little bit, like the survival mode and kind of
Yeah.
getting out from the Dominican to the US. And he's always kind of found a way to push through and move through life. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting story, but I've had to pull that story out of him. Like he didn't just tell me that story. So I've heard it from people, like from just other individuals. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why haven't you told me this story? Like, it's amazing. So yeah, so then I even like done my own research and like Googled it and found it like in the newspaper and stuff from when like it originally happened. So that's really cool. But
Did he teach you Spanish or
I
no?
wish I myself teach myself Spanish for the past 15 years. I mean I took Spanish in high school and college, because it's required, of course, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't stick. But he was in my life until I was about 6. So those are like the best years, and I'm still angry with him, and he knows that I'm.
He
Not
needs to take you to the Dominican Republic for like a month or two, and you're gonna start learning Spanish.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about it because I actually have a half brother as well,
Yeah.
and he lives in LA. So I actually
Oh,
saw
okay.
him when we were going out there and playing. He came to all the games, which was awesome. And we're trying to kind of get a little family reunion trip down to the Dominican at some point because I haven't been there since
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even remember it. That's how young I was. So it would be really nice to go back and kind of see those roots and see because I know
Yeah.
that I have so much family down there. So
Yeah,
that
that would
would
be
be,
so awesome.
yeah.
Especially the beaches over there are amazing.
I mean, everything looks so gorgeous.
Yeah.
So it would be great. We'll see.
Haven't been, but I want to. One of these days.
One of these,
I'm just gonna send you a picture. I'm like, I'm down here.
I
Where
know.
are you?
Yeah, exactly.
But let's change this. Well, still going through your story, but let's change it a little bit. So, tell us, how did you end up falling in love? I mean, with soccer, because your dad played baseball and then soccer, totally different. So, tell us a little bit how you fell in love with soccer.
Yeah, so my mom works at UConn. So I grew up in Connecticut, obviously Coventry. It's about 20 minutes away from the University of Connecticut. So I kind of grew up at that university. And she worked a lot with the athletes there and happened to be working with men's soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she loves to support, all the students that she's working with, XYZ. So she ends up taking me to like all of the games, all the different sporting events that are going on campus. And yeah, I don't know. I just kind of ended up falling in love with, the game, but then also the atmosphere around it, how you feel
Mm-hmm.
watching it. Like I just remember being there and watching so many games and cheering the team on and being like, wow, like this is so fun. Like it's so much more than a game at that point. And then, yeah, so my mom worked with the athletes, and then my stepdad was actually one of the coaches on the men's team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they met. And then, yeah, it just kind of became like part of our life. And then I did gymnastics a little bit when I was younger, and then
Mm-hmm.
found out that I could run really well. But then that was a little bit too boring for me. So then, yeah, then I picked up soccer. Um, and yeah, kind of took off from there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Soccer has a lot of action, so
Yeah.
good sport. Yeah, and how old were you when you started playing soccer?
I think I was about 7 years old.
Okay. And at what age did you move to Connecticut?
We moved to Connecticut when I was like a newborn.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah. So I've
played.
always lived in Connecticut. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if you were born in Tennessee since you
I was
mentioned
born
you.
in Tennessee. Yep. Chattanooga, but then we moved to Connecticut briefly after that because most of my mom's side of the family is in Massachusetts. So I think it was easier for her, so that we could have help if they needed it because both my parents were working at the time, of course. So just to be closer to family, I think.
And tell us how it was to grow up in Connecticut, being a mixed kid over there.
Oh my God, it was so confusing. Yeah, I mean, I can't really complain about my childhood. I mean, I had
Mm-hmm.
everything I wanted. My mom was great, even though it was just us for a little bit. She is like my number one role model. She worked her butt off really to just support me and support anything that I wanted to do. And yeah, she's awesome. But growing up in Connecticut was super interesting, and specifically growing up with a single white mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess like after my dad had left, I was just so young, so like I didn't really know that part of my identity yet. Um,
Yeah.
so I kind of just considered myself like white, even though I
Mm-hmm.
know I didn't look it, like that's how I felt. And all my family around me and all my friends that I had were white. So I was just like, I don't want to say ignoring the fact that I
Mm-hmm.
was Black and Hispanic, but like ignoring that aspect of my life just because like I didn't really know anything about it. But definitely like as I got older, and I always knew that I was different, but like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. Like my friends never like at a young age when you're, just hanging out in the woods and stuff, like nobody's bringing that up. But of course, when you get older, those types of things start to come out of the woodwork. And yeah, it was definitely interesting. I mean, I probably went to school with about five other Black kids. in my entire high school. I mean, I was from a really small town, probably like 500 in our entire school. So there wasn't really much like to relate to anyway. But yeah, like once I hit high school, I was like, okay, like I'm different. And I didn't really know how to navigate that. I had just a ton of friends who would use the N word, and like if that was a cool thing to do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, oh, like this is normal, I guess, and like I shouldn't be offended by it, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I still was offended by it. But I was like, well, should I? Like this seems like the normal thing, and then now coming to realize I should have been outraged by it completely. But yeah, like in the moment, like you don't know, and then I did have a lot of built up anger at some point, I think, towards
Mm-hmm.
my white side of the family, at least, because I feel like, well, my mom was a single mom, and like the last thing she's worried about is like trying to teach me like cultural things. Like she's trying to put food on the table and like make sure that
Yeah.
I'm a happy kid. Like the last thing she's trying to do is like teach me about the Dominican, right? But like once I hit college a little bit, I was like, I'm pretty resentful that I didn't really learn about a lot of like my Black culture, how to do my hair. Like, I didn't really know how to take care of my hair properly. I my mom actually did work with a lot of Black athletes at UConn. And I
Okay.
remember when I was young, I would always be around the office, XYZ. And one of the athletes who was, a lot of the guys were like role models to me. Like they would babysit me, da 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 da. They were like my older brothers, basically. And I
Yeah.
remember one of them looking at me and then looking at my mom and being like, Becky, she has to put lotion on. Like she's so ashy. And my mom is like, what? And then he's like, you have to get her lotion. Like her skin is gonna crack. And then like from that day forward, like I put on lotion every day. But like it's just something that she didn't know. So I didn't know.
Yeah.
And like so just little things like that where I kind of had to learn like through other people or like through doing my own research. I don't know how many like hair care products that I've had to try. Um just to figure out like what works best for me and like how I can best embrace like my like who I am. But yeah, it was certainly difficult in terms of like my race once I got older and you could like start to see how people were acting differently towards you and stuff like that. But like I honestly can't complain. I had great friends. I, you know, had everything I wanted. So from that aspect, like yeah, but I think I'm still like on this journey of trying to figure out and like how to figure out and how to best embrace like my Black culture, my Hispanic culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because you didn't have your dad, to be there,
Yeah.
not to teach you these things, but like you see someone that kind of looks like you
Yeah,
be
or even
there.
like I remember he used to make a really good like chicken and rice dish, but then we
Yeah.
never had the chicken and rice dish. So even it's like food, like
Yeah.
I didn't have like any of that type of food experience or yeah, like just hearing stories or like just talking to that side of my family. Like that really wasn't a thing. Everyone only speaks Spanish. So how am I to communicate with them? So yeah, for a long time, I don't want to say ignored, but yeah, like I just
Hmm.
hadn't embraced or really thought about that side of me until I got a bit older and was like, okay, like there are
Yeah.
two halves of this coin. So like let's see. And it's been a really fun journey. But yeah, like it's also been difficult because I wish I knew from the start everything that I know now. But
Yeah, definitely. And now that you're in Gotham, most of your
oh
teammates
my
are
God,
Black. How do
it's
you feel
amazing.
about how is that different, from when you
Yeah.
grew up and now at Gotham, we have a lot of diversity.
It's amazing, yeah. I mean, any team that I've been on, I've been like one of the only few Black or any sort of different race individuals. So it's been so nice having like yeah, most of the team is Black or different ethnically. So that's been awesome. But it's so funny because I will go to them for like so many questions. Like for the first, and I know that like I'm growing because a lot of them get braids and I've
Mm-hmm.
never done braids. Like I was like, how do you even do those? Like that's just never been a thought for me. And then some of the girls were like, you would look so good with braids. Like, you should try it. You can always take them out. Like, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. And then I'm like, I don't even feel like black enough. Like, am I,
Yeah.
like, I feel you have to have like a certain type of swag to like wear them. And do I have that type of swag? But yeah, they convinced me to get them, and I loved them. I actually just made an appointment for next week to get new braids, so I'm really excited about that. But like something I would never have considered or done before, uh,
Yeah.
now I'm kind of considering and doing because I'm at this club with so much diversity and I love it. And yeah, like now I can say I have black friends, which is really
Yeah.
weird because I'm black. Like I should already have black friends, but like yeah, in my situation, it's not. Like mainly my friends are white just because of where I've
Yeah.
grown up and the type of environments that I've been in. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
And those are things that the things that you're saying, those are things that you can only like share with someone that looks like you. Like
Right?
you feel identified, like they know what you're talking about and you know what they're talking
Yeah,
about instead of
even like unspoken stuff.
Mm.
I don't know, so it's been really great. And I just feel
Mhm.
like that much more comfortable and that much more able to embrace myself.
Yeah.
Where, yeah, in the past, I guess I've just always tried not to embrace that.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, it
And
just hasn't been.
who in the team has been it's like your bestie, the girl that gives you all this advice regarding all of this?
Gosh, oh my God. I have like a lot. So I hang out with a ton. Like I hang out with Taylor, Efi, Mandy. Like we hang out a bunch together. When I got my braids, like Midge and Efi were like, you have to get these braids. Like they would look so good
Uh,
on you. And I was like, okay, fine. And then I mean, we have like group chat with all of us, like all the black girls in it. So I sent them like a photo of me with my braids, and everyone was like so encouraging and just so many compliments, and it made me feel amazing, and like I was embracing a part of myself. It was almost like, I don't want to say like reborn, but like I don't know.
yeah.
Like, oh my God, look, like I had no idea I could do this, and like I don't know, feel like this and embrace this kind of part of me. So yeah, it's been great. I also, I don't know how many times I messaged Estelle on how to take care of braids because she always has.
Yeah.
I'm like, Estelle, what do I do? How do I do? My scalp is itchy and I don't know what to do for it. So yeah, those were really great in that aspect. So yeah,
Spells you have it on like speed
mama,
dial by now. Speed dial.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, everybody has been awesome. Which yeah, I've been really surprised about. Like just being new at the club this year,
Yeah.
such a great
And
environment to come into, like just so welcoming and really just helping me, find how best I can be helpful to the team and just so encouraging. So that's just been so helpful.
yeah, and that's what was going to be my next subject about, like how you were transitioning to the new
Yeah.
league. Has it been tough for you? Like, I know you went to college, then you decided to go from college, you decided to go to play in Europe,
Yeah.
and now you're back in the
Yeah.
US playing here. So, how was that transition for you?
Yeah. So I decided to go overseas because I don't know. I was like, when else am I ever going to get to play overseas? Kind of like, I'm
Yeah.
not tied down for any reason. I would love to live in a different country and explore a different type of culture, even if it
Mm-hmm.
was 6 months. I don't know. Like, I just feel like who can say that they got to do that? So that was really one of the reasons why I wanted to go overseas. But I actually like didn't really get the style overseas. Like I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
really fit in with their style exactly. But I made so many great friends and I just had a really awesome experience there. I got to travel a ton. I
Mm-hmm.
still learned a bunch soccer wise and obviously like life wise because I was living there on my own and living there during COVID. So that's like a whole nother layer. But yeah, I didn't love the soccer part.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, time to come home. I think I miss
Yeah.
my family and yeah, and then I was like, well, I want to try to play in the States again. So then Gotham was available and I was like, yes, please, because it's the closest I can be to home. I love New York City. I've been coming into the city since I was in high school and could take
Yeah.
it in. Like I've loved it. So I was like, wow, to get to represent New York and New Jersey. And of course, with my dad having played for the Yankees, I was like, this is like a dream come true kind of. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm just so used to the style of play here. So, like, it wasn't really that much to adjust to. I'm athletic. So, like, that's the one
Mm-hmm.
thing I have going. But no, it's been great. I mean, I was so surprised how welcoming everybody really was. And it's a great environment in that aspect of everybody is just trying to get better and help each other get better every day. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm really excited to be back in the league, and I know that I can be a really great player in this league. So yeah, just trying to take some strides and learn as much as I can. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and we have one more game until the end of the season. How do you guys would like to close out this last game and the
Ugh,
season?
can we get a win, please?
Can we get a win, please? Exactly. Can we?
Can we?
Please, we're manifesting over here.
I know. Well, okay, honestly, I heard that Red Bull Arena is cursed. I don't know. One of the fans said that to me as I was walking around the field after one of
No, they didn't. They told you that?
yeah, they were like, "It's cursed, like, you've got a new venue," and I was like, "I don't know, it seems like a pretty nice stadium to me." So,
Right? It
um
looks pretty nice to me too. I don't know. Tell me how it felt to play for the first time at Red Bull for you.
oh my god, it's amazing, and the fans are so great. But yeah, I mean, I wish we could fill all the stands, and I think that's something that
Mhm.
we're really trying to do, in the upcoming stages. But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, just getting to play in the NWSL in general is amazing, and then you've seen the strides that it's taken to become more of a professional league, and
Mhm.
I really do feel like a professional, which is great. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. The field is great. The atmosphere is great. And yeah, I don't know. I think we have one of the best venues to play at, in my opinion. So yeah, that's been lovely.
Yeah. And going back to the last game of the season, if we go out with a win, do you think that's going to change not the mindset, because we all know you guys have a great mindset and positive mindset out there, but do you think if we get a win that would change kind of like the spirits throughout the team and come back next season motivated?
Yeah, I feel like we've been just like so close, and then we get like unlucky in some way, and it's just like we're just waiting
Yeah,
for
I
that
know.
win. So I think it would certainly help. But regardless if we got the win or not, I know that everyone at the club and all the players are, so committed to just get back to
Hmm.
work again, and to really learn from this season and to learn what we can do better for next season. Because yeah, there's a lot to learn from. But yeah, it would certainly help if we could get a win and feel good at least for our last game. And
Yeah.
yeah, but Portland will be a great team to play against. It would be really nice to beat them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
And
yeah.
And I just want to say, like you said, like, oh, how this season has like little things that have changed the game. Like you guys are doing good. I want to go back to that game where the ref
Mm.
decided that a goal was not a goal and it was a corner. What the
I know, yeah. Oh gosh,
heck?
yeah. That was really unfortunate. Uh, and
tell me, like honestly, how you felt
yeah,
about that.
I mean, we were just all like confused. Like question marks were over everybody's faces and heads after that call. I mean, you should have seen our group chat after the game, and then like you could actually see how it goes into the back of the net. Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that just goes back to the league and making sure that we have like the best possible of everything, whether that's I don't know, do we need VAR? Like get VAR. Because that should like but that changes the entire outcome of a potential match. Like getting a
Yes.
goal I can't remember. It must have been 10 minutes into the match. Like getting a
Mm-hmm.
goal that early on can change the entire game. And like,
Yeah.
so then
And
not
it
having that was just like, dang. So
yeah.
there are just so many things that can dictate how a game goes, and it would just be great if we could get absolutely every tool necessary to ensure that the right calls are being made, um, the best refs are being used. And I don't want to, say anything about that, but just in general, like I think if we're trying to be one of the best leagues in the world, then we
Hmm.
just need those tools because that's so unacceptable. Um, but yeah, you should have seen all of us the days after that. It was, oh gosh. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, not everything goes your way. And
I was going nuts in my house. I was
yeah,
like, what's going on? Because yeah, it definitely changed the whole game and like the mood throughout everyone.
yeah.
And I
'Cause
was so mad because it was Angel City. I was like, really?
I know. I think shortly after that, they scored their first goal. So it was like,
Yeah.
dang, instead of it being 1-1, now we're down a goal. Like that changes everything. So yeah, I'm hoping that the NWSL can take, notes after this year
Yeah.
and really come back
Yeah.
next year looking to help in all of those areas.
But I have good news for you because actually next
Oh,
year they're
okay.
actually gonna have VAR.
Yeah.
So
Thank God, yay. Which I don't even know if that helps because I mean you're seeing in the Premier League, like all of
yeah.
the guys don't even like it anymore because it's like it's almost too much. It's
Yeah.
almost too precise. Where like of course that in like the instance for us that needs to be like a VAR decision, but I know like in the Premier League a lot of them are like this needs to go. So I don't know. Right now I'm saying that we should have it, but next season rolls around I'm gonna get rid of it.
we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it, see how you like VR.
Exactly. Exactly. A year
But
from
yeah, I just feel like sometimes it depends, I guess, whoever's watching, like at the VR, like doing these calls. It just depends if they're in a good mood or not, or if they're like
now, right?
nitpicking.
I mean,
I
but
guess,
even the like offsides that are getting called in the Premier League when it's like
yeah,
a millimeter of like some guy's shoulder and it's like,
I
oh,
know, like my hair,
yeah,
like just.
okay. I don't know about that, but yeah, I don't know. In some, I think there's like you're either pro VAR or against it, and like, what can you do? They're just trying to make the game, more honest. But
Yeah. But at this point, I think the NWSL does need it because some of these calls are like outrageous. So I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, I know.
yeah.
Yeah, we could
But
use. You're right.
yeah. But anyway, so now that again the season's almost done, what are your goals for next season?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a team, we're really just trying to like regroup and
Mm-hmm.
take, some downtime because it's been a pretty exhausting season. I mean, for me
Mm-hmm.
at least, just with all the change that we've had and there's just a lot going on within our club.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah, just taking some downtime to really kind of be a normal human being for a second. It
Yeah.
would be really nice, and is going to be really nice.
Yeah.
But
Kind of
yeah,
disconnect a little.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, just after all the losses, it's just like a bigger weight on our shoulders, like after every loss. So I think kind of
Mm-hmm.
really ridding of that, and then really trying to get hyped up and ready for next season to come out, guns blazing, because
Yeah.
we know that we can be successful in this league, and we know that we can be a top, one of the top teams to make the playoffs. So, um, we just have to keep believing in that, I think is key, and really just putting our heads down and doing the work. So yeah, I think we're excited. But me personally, uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I loved this past season.
Yeah.
Like I think I got a lot of minutes, which I was really happy about for my first season. And I've just been learning so much from like Allie and Ashlyn and Estelle and McCall, like just some of those older veterans. Like I'm just trying to like absorb as much information as I can off of them. And
Mm-hmm.
I think going into next season, I just want to be that much more impactful for the team and helpful for the team in any way that I can be. Uh, yeah, and just really trying to absorb all that I can from even my fellow, like even Paige, like me and Paige
Yeah.
have known each other a little bit from national teams. So even her advice to me, like, it's just so helpful. Cause yeah, even though I don't feel like a rookie, it's still my
Mm-hmm.
first year. So I still know that I have stuff to learn.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's been great. And then yeah, I hope I can continue to be an asset to the team and see where that takes me.
Do you see yourself back in the U.S. national team in your future?
I better. I better. We'll see.
Yeah, no, don't say we'll see. You're gonna do it. Just
Yeah,
go out there and
I
just, like you said, work your butt off, and I know you're gonna do it.
exactly. And I'm actually a really big I'm really big on mental health. And
Hmm.
I've
Yeah.
had a mental health journey, but we don't have to get into that. But I think one of the biggest things is like being where you are now.
Hmm.
And for so long, I've just been like, national team, national team. But it's like, who knows if that will really happen
Hmm.
or not? But like, to put all my eggs in that basket, it's like, I'm not here
Yeah.
now. I'm in the future. I'm thinking about,
Yes.
and then I'm never satisfied. Um, so I've been meeting with a really great sports psych guy.
Hmm.
And he's like, you have to be happy with where you are right now and work for you and not for the national team or not for accolades that you want or, I don't know, external, whatever. Like, you're
Hmm.
playing this game because you love it and because it brings you joy and,
Exactly.
because you want to see how good you can get. But everything else that you may get because of that is just a bonus. But like, you have to
Hmm.
remember that why you're playing, and it can't be to make the national team. That can be a
I
goal, but
Yeah.
I can't solely be trying to make the national team. So that's something I've been really trying to switch in my brain, which is
Yeah.
hard because when you've been like implanted with an idea since you were 13 years old, and
Yes.
then that's just
What?
reinforced over and over and over again. Like, it
It's
takes a really
true.
long time to break down that type of thinking. But yeah, I work every day to try and help myself be happy with what I'm doing right now. And if something comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it wasn't meant for me. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, but I think like every athlete can benefit from like any type of therapy, sports psych. I think that's just immensely important, and it'll help you perform at your best as well.
Yeah, we're really big here on mental health at Soccer Over Gotham. We talk about it a lot here on the show. It's
Mhm.
really important. Like you said, you have to do it for your happiness, not
Yeah,
because someone else is telling you to do it, or
exactly.
even if it's your parents' dream, it's if it's not your dream, you can't like be miserable trying to accomplish someone else's dream, you know?
Exactly.
and y-
So,
and like you said too, like you have to live in the present and be happy with what you have and who you are. And if it's gonna be for you, definitely it's gonna be for you, no matter what, no
right.
matter what.
Yeah, and then if this is it for me, just playing in the at NWSL, which is also amazing, I can be happy with that, and that, like, doesn't define how successful my career was or how unsuccessful I think it was. So I think, I don't know, that's so important, but it really is all about perspective and, like,
Mm-hmm.
just doing the mental work to,
Yeah.
yeah, like, really be happy and mentally strong and to really like survive as an athlete
Mm-hmm.
and a professional athlete, because it can be
Yeah.
so difficult just with, I don't know, you have to compete every day and
The
your
pressure.
body through all of this, and yeah, then the pressure, and then you can go on Twitter and see what everyone's saying, and like there's so many things. But like, if you can go back to a home base a little bit
Yeah.
and remember, um I think that's so helpful, but which is something I've had to learn. Like, I haven't
Mm-hmm.
always been this wise.
Yeah.
um no, but yeah, it's certainly something that I'm really embarking on now, as a third year professional. So
Yeah. And it's never too late to start working on yourself, you
never,
know?
never. And honestly, I don't think you ever stop.
Yeah. That is true. You
Yeah.
never really stop every day. You learn something. I feel like not even you know yourself 100% because you discover something new about yourself, each
Yeah, every
time.
day. Yeah, every time something new happens,
Yeah.
every time you hit adversity, every time you want something that you didn't get, or every time, I don't know, then maybe in 2 years I won't even wanna play any like, I don't know. I don't know what's
Yeah.
in store.
Gotta live in the moment.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. That's true. And I just want to respect your time because we've been here talking a lot and I
Yes.
honestly I could keep talking for hours, but
Yeah.
but we're going to respect your time
Well, thank
and we're going to end up this interview with some rapid fire questions. So here's the fun part, okay?
Hey, bring it on.
All right. So technically, I'm just gonna ask you like a question. You're just gonna say whatever comes up to mind, whatever like the first thing that comes up to mind, and we're just gonna talk about it. So,
I'm prepared.
uh, we're gonna start. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Oh, let's go. So, last live music show you saw.
Beyoncé?
All
Honestly,
right.
yeah, I saw her a few years ago when her Lemonade album came out, and I'm obsessed with her. I think she's, like, so much more than an artist, and she's amazing, so I went to that concert. But then, like yeah, I guess I haven't went to any others, but then COVID happened, so I need to get to
Yeah.
a concert. Like, I haven't been in so long, but because of COVID, I think that, like, put everybody's, like, life on hold a little bit.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, yeah, Beyonce. And I was like, wait, Beyonce hasn't done a
Jordan's
concert in a while.
I know, but she's going back. She just came out with that new album, and she'll be touring next year, so you
Yeah,
better
she got good songs there.
yeah. Oh, I'm definitely going. I'm gonna
All
make
right.
it go.
Well, everyone was going like crazy to go to the Bad Bunny concert. I couldn't go.
Yeah,
They're too
everybody
expensive.
I
Tickets were
heard
so expensive.
I heard that he's, like, the biggest global star right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to listen to his music. It's good. But I was like, all right, I'm not about to pay like $800 to go see him.
And then
I'll just listen to him on Apple Music or something.
Yeah. He's big.
Ne-
Yeah, he's great. I like him too.
yeah. All right, next question. You wouldn't be here without this person.
My mom, 100%. She's been, like, my biggest supporter. I'm always messaging her. I mean, I'll message her and be like, "Mom, how do I turn on the stove?" Not like that, but, like, I'm always I'm
Yeah.
always messaging her about something that I need help with. But yeah, she's my number one fan. She's always been there for me. Always like after every game, she's like, "You played great," and like she doesn't really even understand what she's watching.
Aw.
She does, but like I'm like, "Okay, mom, like I gave the ball away a million times." So, but
But you did great.
I did great in her eyes. I always do well. So, but yeah, she's my biggest supporter, and I wouldn't even be me without her. So,
Yeah. Alrighty. So next question. I don't know who asked this question. It says maybe Jenna Tonelli like asked this
okay, yeah.
question. I think so because it's related to Halloween candy. So
Ooh.
candy corn, yes or no?
Um, no. I I love Halloween, so that's, like, my favorite holiday, and I don't
Yeah.
keep it up anymore, but I don't know what it is about Halloween. I think well, when I was young, my mom used to throw Halloween parties, so I have
Yeah.
such good memories about Halloween,
Mhm.
but definitely not candy corn. I'm more of like a Snickers.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
I
I
love
was, I was about to say that. I will leave like the candy corn till the end.
yeah,
Only if I'm like, all right,
I
candy
guess,
corn,
yeah.
I guess. But yeah, I will go with Sneakers, Twix.
Yeah, Twix is good. I also feel like, when it's like a Lay's chip and it's like, okay, you have one piece of candy corn, but it's like you can't just have one of it. You have to have like if you have one candy corn, you have to then like have the whole like bowl of it that's just been sitting there for 2 weeks and it has like dust on it.
I know the feeling. So yeah, another one. It's I can't think. Kit Kat. I love Kit
Ooh,
Kat.
Kit Kats are good too. Yeah, honestly, anything covered in chocolate.
Yes. All right. Next question. Who is your traveling roommate?
Ooh, I've had a lot this past year.
Oh.
Yeah, surprisingly. I have actually been rooming with McCall a lot, and she's
Okay.
super fun. Yeah. We just hang out. I'm usually always like putting on a show once we get like to the hotel and like once we get settled down. So last week in North Carolina, we were watching a ton of Sex in the City. Cuz yeah, I mean, that's one of the greatest shows ever made. So we were just watching that together, but she's been a great roommate. I really liked rooming with her. She's super funny. And I can just learn a bunch from her. Like I've just asked her a ton about her time in the NWSL and like if she's had any advice for me. So
Yeah,
that's
she's been here a while.
yeah, exactly. But she's kind of taken me under her wing a little bit. So I don't know. I've been really grateful for her for in that aspect. So
All right. Next question. Your favorite cheat meal?
oh my god. My favorite cheat meal. I love Mexican food, but like Tex-Mex. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I would go for like a nice, like large bowl of nachos, like loaded nachos, jalapenos, shredded chicken, lots of cheese, beans, uh,
Yes.
salsa, like all the good guacamole, cream cheese. Yeah, like I'm a big nacho fan.
I love Mexican food because one of my first jobs out of high school was in a Mexican restaurant as a waitress.
Mm,
So I was eating Mexican food every day and
yes.
I wouldn't get tired because I love Mexican
Yeah,
food.
I think when we were in North Carolina, I was sitting at a table and they were like, like, if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, like one food group, what would
Yeah.
it be?" And I don't know, some girls said Italian, some girls said, I don't know. But I was like Mexican, 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you
There's
have
so
frozen
much.
margs, like, oh, how good. The tahini, is that what it is? The spice? Tahin?
With oh, tahine? Yeah, you gotta put that on everything.
Yeah, the tahine, like, around oh, yeah. Don't get me started. Yeah. I'm really excited to have one of those in the off season.
Yes, there's this taco place that it's incredible. But you say you like more Tex-Mex. Never mind. This is more like authentic.
No, no, I need to do better at going to actually authentic places as well.
Oh, okay. There's this place in Jersey City, I believe. It's called Downtown Tacos, I believe, or Midtown Tacos. I'm gonna send it to you, but it's really, really, really good. I went maybe a month ago,
Okay.
and no, it's a little more than a month ago, maybe like 2 months ago. Ah, delicious. Their tacos
Yeah.
are so delicious. But just make sure if they ask you if you want them spicy, say no, because the spicy is like really spicy.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, I've been trying, so a few of us will go around, like, looking at all the Mexican places around here, but there's not
Mhm.
many. I don't know.
No, not here.
Yeah, is it weird in New Jersey that there's, like, no Mexican around? Um,
Well, it's more because of Morris County. If you go to like Bergen County, Passaic County, then you'll find a little more.
okay.
Like down here, not really.
Yeah, I was just, like, so surprised by that, but we found a few places. We've been kind of just, like, trial and error, you know? Like, we
Yeah.
go to one, "Oh, we liked it. Oh, we didn't." But yeah,
But
like,
there's
I've
one.
been so surprised a little bit because, you go on, like, Apple Maps and you're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
Mexican," and there's, like, 0 places around here, so
Taco Bell.
yeah, exactly. It's
No, there's one really good in Morristown. I know you guys are close to Morristown.
Vietnam?
No.
Oh, okay.
Orale? Have you heard about it? It's in Morristown.
No, but now I'm gonna go to it.
It's delicious. Orale and their drinks are amazing too.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
All right, let's go to the next question.
I'm
All right.
I already know the next spot I'm going to eat at. Perfect.
What are you nerdy about outside of soccer?
Yes, this is a good one. I am a history nerd. Uh, so have I like to read books. Have you heard of like Sapiens? That book?
Mm-mm.
So that's like a book. Basically, I like history regarding like how we ended up where we are today as
Mm-hmm.
humans, but more so like evolution wise. Um,
Yeah.
so I kind of read a ton of books like that. I'm currently reading God, it's right there over on the table. I'm currently reading what lies my teacher told me in high school or something, or taught me in high school or taught me in
Okay.
school. And that's basically history regarding like what you didn't really learn in school. And a lot of it is about like colonization. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
into like how a lot of the textbooks that you're given as a kid are from like the white point of view, things that you don't learn about pertaining to like Native Americans,
Mm-hmm.
um, the slavery era, that type of, so all of those things that are kind of like overlooked a little bit in all of our history books. So I've been reading a lot on that lately, which is really, I don't know if it's fun to read, but it's really interesting to me. I just really like to learn new things. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah. Um,
Me too. I like going to museums. Do you like going to museums?
um, I
Not
like
really.
museums, I guess. I think I get bored in them a little bit. Unless it's
Really?
like interactive or like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I'm the museum type.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm more visual. Maybe that's
okay.
why I like them
Yeah.
because I'm more visual. So when I go and see them, I like to like it's kind of like history to me too
Yeah,
because you're coming to and look at all these like artifacts, whatever.
yeah, of course. And you can read about it as well, like all of the
Mhm.
questions and stuff. But
It's
yeah,
really cool.
history I'm really into at the moment.
All right. So for our last question, tell me who is the funniest teammate?
I know this. I already know who asked this question. And yes, it is Baxter. She is hilarious and she brings such a light and spark to our team. And she's been such a great friend to me this year. Being new on the team, she's been so welcoming, and I've hung out a ton with her when we're not at the club and stuff. And she's just great. She's puts a smile on everybody's face. She's always having a great time. Um, you can tell that she really just loves to play and loves to like meg people and do crazy training sometimes. But yeah, she is someone like if we had like superlatives, like she would be like the class clown. But in a good way, like a good like an awesome class clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
I just saw her reel that she posted on Instagram.
Oh
It's
my
too
god.
funny.
Yeah, yeah, I don't even know, like, the stuff that will pop up, I'm like, "Where did you even get that from?" I'm posted me eating the string cheese like a crazy person because I
Oh yeah.
I just, like, chew it, and I'm like, "Where did you even get that? I don't even know where you even got that." But yeah, it's great. She's hilarious. So,
All right. I guess that's why she asked. She just wanted you to say that
I
she's the
know, she
funniest.
just wanted validation. It's fine.
All right. And again, we went on for a long time. I think we're going to have like a part 1 and part 2 with everything we talked about. But yeah, it was great having you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
All right. So, unfortunately, we have reached the end of the interview. Ellie, you're such an amazing person. You're such a great guest. And we have so much many more questions for you, and we could talk for hours and hours and hours, but I just want to say thank you, Ellie, for taking the time for talking to us. And again, good luck this Saturday at Red Bull Arena. Again, Gotham returns to Red Bull Arena on Saturday at 6 p.m. I'm ready for this matchup against the Thorns. Are
Mhm.
you ready, Ellie?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you so much for having me and yeah, for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure and it was really fun to talk to you today. So
Thank you.